can I please just ask my questions? And I want to deal with the messages that had passed between you and Valdo and your family, because what I'm going to suggest to you that there was a gathering storm over the 12th and the 13th in the messages that had been received. But would you agree, I appreciate that the family's position is there were some hospital admissions you weren't aware of, but every time that VC had been admitted to hospital, what had immediately preceded it was an incident and an act of violence and aggression where the police had been involved. Would you agree?
Yeah.
And so you would have known that factor. So when VC is referencing in the messages the day before that don't come and visit me in hospital, would you agree that the context of every other hospital admission had been violence and aggression and police involvement?
Yes, I think that's fair.
Over the messages that you shared with Dr. Sedat, or the family did in 2020, because what I'm going to suggest is you were fully aware that many of those messages reference violence and aggression, and that you're plainly defensive about those aspects that deal with violence and aggression, and you're seeking to downplay those. But the reality is you and the family were in possession of messages that showed that VC had thoughts of violence and aggression when he was delusional. But can we just look at this together? So we know on the 12th of June, he called you at 11:50. You didn't take that call because you were in work, but at 7:09 p.m, you had a 44-minute call. What I want to cover with that now, essentially in that call, you're saying this is the last time we will speak, and essentially disassociate yourself from me, don't come and visit me in hospital. But that's 44 minutes, and I want to ask you, because we know at this time VC had been in London, been to the barbecue with Bill Monteiro, and something's happened with a neighbour where VC subsequently has said there was an incident involving a zombie knife. Now, that's a 44-minute call. Did your brother tell you anything about what he subsequently has said happened? And there's plainly been an incident with the neighbour, because Bill Monteiro has texted VC about that. Was anything said to you about what had happened in London?
No, nothing was said, no.
So you've had that call at 7:09 p.m. referencing hospital, and you must have thought plainly that VC was unwell again.
No, crisis.
So it's a very lengthy conversation.
Yes.
Is there anything else you can recall, bearing in mind, essentially, you've described, you've not been in contact with one another?
Yes.
Is there anything else of relevance to this inquiry, bearing in mind you're on oath, that was discussed in that telephone call that you've not addressed in your evidence?
Sorry, say that again?
It's a lengthy conversation in the context of essentially you and VC have not been in contact. Is there anything else relevant to this inquiry that was discussed in that 40-minute call that you've not already spoken